everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Lauren, aka Dresses and Capes, and today we're going to be working on making a pinup / vintage style wig. I'm actually making this for a very specific costume, but this tutorial / walkthrough can be used for any wig and pretty much for any pinup style. Today we're going to be working with the Epic Cosplay Eros lace front in forest green mix. I just think the color is just so pretty. It's like a mix of different greens and has so much dimension that I think once we have it all set, it'll look really stunning. And I'm really hoping that it goes along with my cosplay that I'm making for this. I think you should check out my other video that this will also be linked to. It'll be either here or here. I gotta figure out how to do that, so my bad. And I love working with Epic Cosplay Wigs because they are not only super thick, but also super affordable. So they're the perfect cosplay wig / costume wig. And you know what? They just work. I have so many wigs from Epic Cosplay that I restyle from one cosplay to another. And that's kind of what I plan to do for this as well. I'm going to use it for this tutorial, and then I'll probably use it for something else in the future. And that's what this wig allows me to do. This brand of wig, it offers me versatility, which is something I really need. So yeah, let's get started. So step one in this process of creating a pinup vintage style wig is actually to give it a haircut. The wig is very long right now, and while we do want length, so we can get a lot of curl but still have a good amount of length, you need to give it a U-shaped cut. A U-shaped cut. And a U-shaped cut is just something that's very common in vintage hairstyling, where it's literally you just have it a little shorter in the front, longer in the back, and then again shorter in the front on the other side. This gives you the volume you want while keeping the front pretty manageable. My own hair is kind of cut like that as well. You can see that my back is a little longer, and that'll just help with giving the bounce we want as well. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put you on time lapse because it's kind of just cutting hair, nothing super exciting. I like to cut it in sections, and then once I have those sections cut, I release them and then make sure everything is evened out with just some hair cutting scissors. And make sure to use hair cutting scissors, that'll definitely help you. Okay, let's go.
Okay, super quick haircut. First we section it with some hair bands, then we cut it, and now we're just evening out to make sure that everything looks even from all angles.
We're going to set the wig using curlers, and the curlers I'm using, sorry my bag is really loud, is these wire mesh curlers. These ones are 7/8 of an inch, and I'll be using these at the front where I want a bit of a tighter curl, and in the back I'll probably be using my slightly larger ones, which are 1/1/8 of an inch, so barely larger, but the smaller your roller, the tighter your curl, meaning the tighter your wave will be when you do this vintage style. And I've already parted my wig, so you can see I have my part on my left side going to my right, and that's how I want my wig to be. I have some T-pins just to make sure the lace front stays in place, and we're pretty much ready to go. The plan is, as of now, to start at the front and work my way back. And all you have to do is take a small section of hair, probably even smaller than this one, smooth it out, make sure it's nice and smooth. That'll help you get a nice neater curl. Start curling it towards the wig head rather than away. And I know you're like, what does that mean? I guess the easier way to say that would be to curl it under. If you curl it over, your curl is gonna kind of do what I like to call the 1960s thing, where it went like that. But we want more of a 40s, 50s vibe where it goes like this, kind of like my hair now. So we're gonna take a small piece, grab it, and then just wrap it around
Try and do as smooth as you can. There you go. And I actually redo this one because it's not quite as smooth as I want. Yeah, so let's redo that. So a reason you see me redoing this roll is that when you're doing a pinup style, it is very important to have neat set / neat rollers when you're doing it so you get a great style later on. This is very important. Grab this. Grab a brush. Just to make sure. It's nice and smooth. Grab a roller. Just start rolling. Sorry you see me talking. This is just me explaining that the ends will be a little bit difficult since the hair is straight right now. You want to take a pin. One of these hair pins, you can get them pretty much anywhere that they sell hair supplies. Put it to your wig head, and I usually like to do 2 per roller just to make sure it's nice and secure. Okay, first curl done. Now we just got to do the whole head. An important part when doing your set is brushing the hair in the direction of the roller you're about to do. So you can see I'm doing it at the 90-degree angle and then rolling the hair towards the wig head again. Putting in some pins to secure that roller and then just moving on to the rest of the wig head. It is a lot of repeating the same step over and over. You'll see that I actually went back and redid some of my first few rollers because I felt they weren't neat enough, and again, it is so important to have a neat set to have a good hairstyle later on. Okay, so now we have the front of the wig set with the smaller rollers. And remember, the smaller rollers will get us tighter curls, which will give us closer together waves. And I personally like them at the front of my face, and in the back I like bigger waves. So I will be using my bigger roller, my 1 1/8 inch roller. So I'm pretty much going to be doing the exact same thing I did to the front at the back. It'll just be rows across the back of the head. So, you know what? Through the magic of editing, let's make this happen. You ready? Okay, all set. Rollers are in, ready to go. Next step is to steam it. Because the wig is synthetic, that means you can manipulate the pattern of the hair with just some steam. Steam is hot enough to make the plastic within the synthetic hair form to whatever you put it around. So we have it around rollers, so that's how we're gonna do it. And when I steam, I just use a regular closed steamer that you can get pretty much at any store and a plastic bag. And you're like, what do you need a plastic bag for? I put the plastic bag over the head of my wig, and then I put the steamer under, and the plastic bag just helps it keep the moisture and the heat within, meaning that the whole wig head is getting more steam and more heat than if I just let it go out into the air. So it's pretty simple from here. I'll video myself doing it for a bit, but I mean, it's literally just me sitting here and steaming, like just doing this. And I know someone will probably ask, how long do you do it? I do it for at least 1 full container of my steamer. Granted, I know different steamers are different sizes, but that's how I do mine. So I think that will be about 20 to 30 minutes. And then I check my hair, and if it's like nice and wet, that means that it's good. And then I usually just leave it with the bag over it for like maybe an hour or so, and then I take it off and let it air dry for about 24 hours before I brush out. So, we know what to do. Let's go. This part's really boring. It's just me holding the steamer under the bag, rotating the head, and making sure every part gets some steam. Okay, as you can see, my wig is now steamed. She will be sitting in this bag now for about 1 hour to make sure that everything stays nice and wet. Then after that hour, I will remove the bag and let it dry for about 24 hours. It has now been a little less than 24 hours, and I'm going to start unpinning and unrolling the hair because it is now nice and dry. It's really hot right now, so the wig dried much quicker, so I feel like it's fine that it's not 24 hours. So I'm gonna work on that. Again, it's not very exciting, it's me unpicking, so you'll get a nice time lapse of me working on it. She's all unpinned, and as you can see, she has a lot of bouncy curls. And obviously, if you want, you could go out with like this type of hairdo. The curls are really cute and really like full, but we're going for a more pinup look. So I'm gonna brush out these curls, and then I'm gonna kind of listen to the wig to see where waves form. Once I know where the waves are forming, I'm gonna use some of these clips. I think they're called duckbill clips, and pin it in, and that will help the wave stay in place. And then I'll just hairspray it with some Got2b hairspray, and that will help it keep its shape. If you want, you could technically tease the underlayers to give it a lot of volume. But the style I'm going for doesn't require a huge amount of volume. I'm going for a Julie Adams look from Creature from the Black Lagoon. So I'm gonna not tease the back. I will tease the front bangs, and I'll show you how to do that a bit later. So let's get going. Okay, just starting with a regular wig brush, and we're just gonna brush through. Oop. Also make sure your head is secure on your stand. My stand got a little loose by turning her. Okay. But as you can see, me just brushing it gently, you can already see waves forming. And I'm trying to go gently at first because going gently will help the waves stay in place. When you get to the bottom, you might hit a little resistance just because of the curl. I have like one little section right here that looks like it got a little tangled, but that's easy enough. So you can see there's like a wave already coming. So we're just gonna go to this side and start brushing as well. Just be gentle as you brush, because the waves will form. See, I can already see a wave right here, and you can see that it's starting to curl under. We're gonna manipulate the bottom with our hands to get it to curl under a bit later. So
I continue brushing the wig with very gentle strokes, and as you brush, you'll see waves begin to form. Right here, I'm pointing out the bang hair. It's important to keep this hair separate because the bang is the most important part of a pinup style. It's how you typically define a pinup. It has volume and a swoosh, so we're separating that right now from our brush out. Continue to brush out your wig with some gentle strokes. Be careful of the bottom.
And I'm actually going to start brushing the bottom of the wig underneath. So it's pretty simple, it just seems difficult. You're just literally guiding the hair. So you like take your hand, you use it as a guide, and then you just kind of brush under your hand. See? Just like that. And you can see the hair is just following my hand. And it's nice and tucked under now. And I also like to go in with a tiny little comb brush and do that again, just to make sure it's nice and smooth. So I'm just going to do that one more time with my smaller brush to make sure it's nice and smooth underneath. So there you go. There you go. So you have it nice and smooth at the bottom now, right there. And you can see that very distinct dent now between the sections, that nice S-wave. So let's get a clip and clip that little section. Make sure you get it. There we go. Now we're going to do the bottom right here.
Continue to brush out the bottom of the wig in this same style, working in small sections, using your hand as a guide and the small comb to help make everything look neat. Once your small section is done, I then meld the two sections together to make sure all the curls are uniform and everything looks neat and as if each S-wave is flowing into the other. And when you're done, make sure to use a duckbill clip.
Okay, so you can see the back is now pretty much all set and pinned. I'm just gonna put in actually one more pin just to make sure. You can see that it is following the S waves that the hair naturally gave me as I was brushing it out. And I also brushed under all the ends because I just like how that looks. I think it's a little neater. Now we're gonna work on the front. The front, again, is the most important part. And we're actually gonna start on, excuse me, the side that doesn't have our like big swoop bang. And this side will be pretty similar to what we did for the rest of the hair. I'm gonna brush it, and then instead of going under, I think I'm gonna actually make it go around the head. And that might require using maybe like a bobby pin. So I have a bobby pin handy. So yeah, let's go. So I'm clipping. This is on this side, remember? And this will be pushed back a little bit. So we still do want that wave.
To get a nice wave on the side of our wig head, we're actually going to do what we did with the rest of the wig. We're going to brush it out and then smooth it out with a small comb. The only difference is we are now changing the curl pattern at the end of the wig. Instead of going under, we're using our hand to make it go around our fingers. As you can see, I just did it there, and I'm using a duckbill clip to keep it in place.
Now we're going to work on the bang. And the bang, most important parts when working on a pinup style. So we'll try and explain everything I'm doing. So taking it out, moving these because I might need them a little bit later just to hold the hair. And I will first take this section, that is the bang, this is right here, and I will brush it out like we were doing before.
When brushing out this section, just be careful and gentle again. I like to hold the top of the root sometimes. And here you'll see me explaining just to brush the hair in the direction of the bang.
It doesn't have a lot of volume in the front, and I want to give it a little volume. So the easiest way to do that is with a teasing brush. So a teasing brush has several hard bristles, and it's pretty easy to use. You kind of just back comb. So you take the piece of hair. I like to separate a small layer in the front that will be used to hide all of the teasing. And I take it, separate that out. You can clip it if you need to. Take a little more from right here just to make sure I have enough to cover all my teasing. And then we're just gonna tease it. You can keep teasing for as long and as much as you think you need of volume. I don't want too much, but I want a good amount. So as you saw, I just literally back combing, holding the hair up and doing this. And you can see it's already like getting a good amount of volume. It's standing up by itself, which is great. So I'm just gonna do that a little bit more. And you can actually undo all this teasing if you steam out your wig and detangle it. And then I'm just kind of smoothing out the teasing a little bit. I tried not to hit the back too much because I wanted to keep that neat. So we still have a good amount of volume, you can see it's standing up. So now, we just try and mold it the way we want. And I do like it when it does like that almost wave, like a little tsunami wave. And then I'm going to take this hair that
I'm now brushing out my bang hair in a very similar manner as before. I'm just being very careful as I brush it because I want to make sure I still have the curls. And again, I'm listening to the wig and putting duckbill clips where I see waves naturally forming. Your clip and curl placement is very important as this is the front of the wig. And again, the most important part in selling that this is a vintage wig. You can see me very much molding the curls to make sure that I'm getting the style I want and a very distinct S. Make sure to take your time when working on the front section of your wig. This is again the most important part of any vintage wig. And right here I'm molding the bottom around my hand so that the curl is actually facing towards my face. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it will make sense when you see it done. Putting it towards my face just helps frame my face a little bit more than having it just go under like the rest of the back of the wig.
now you can see that the wig is styled in a pinup hairdo. So now I'm just gonna give it a nice spritz with hairspray, and as mentioned, if you want, you can hit it also with a blow dryer to make sure it's rock hard and will not fly away. And you can see that I'm not just drowning it, I'm doing that will help control how much hairspray you're putting on. So again, just smoothing it gently with my brush, very gently. Even with my fingers a little bit, which probably shouldn't because hairspray is sticky, but it's a bad habit of mine to use my own hands. So just want to let you know that I can answer any questions you have below. So please feel free to ask anything. I try to break down all my steps and try and be as simple as possible. This is a pretty simple set. I will say that you can use this basic set that I did at the beginning for almost any hairdo. I've used that set of curls to do Sailor Jupiter, to do Esmeralda, to do the Bride of Frankenstein. It really is a great starting set. The only thing you really have to keep in mind is like where you're parting your wig. So mine, all of the ones at the front went this way and the other side went this way. But anyways, I digress. I hope you found this helpful, and if I can, again, I will show you the pictures from my shoot right after this, but if not, I'll hope to see you soon. Bye!